Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining me today, whether it is in real time or asynchronously. Today is Friday, December 4th, 2020. The state's website today reports the daily percent positive cases in Suffolk County at 6%, with the 7-day rolling average at 4.9%. Those numbers have been climbing, and it appears Suffolk County is on the verge of hitting the 5% 7-day rolling average mark. Here in South Country Schools, we have had a total of 37 COVID-19 positive cases reported to the district. 8 are staff members and 29 are students. Specifically, in each of our schools reported were 2 staff and 15 students at our high school, 1 staff and 2 students at our middle school, 0 staff and 2 students at Frank P. Long, 1 staff and 3 students at Brookhaven, 0 staff and 1 student at Kramer, 2 staff and 4 students at Critz, and 2 staff and 2 students at South Haven Early Childhood Center. So today closes out week 13 of the school year, along with our precautionary shift to all remote learning. All reports indicated a smooth transition to all remote learning this week, which is no doubt a result of the hard work of our faculty, staff, and of course the cooperation of our families. So thank you all very much for making that happen. Our phase-in plan continues next week on Monday, December 7th, with Phase 4 students returning for in-person instruction for their second week. Phase 4 students include pre-K at 5 days per week, grades K1 and 4 at 4 days per week, and grades 6 through 12 special education, ENL, and PASS programs at 4 days per week. Remote teachers for all remote learners in grades K1 and 4 roll out on Monday, December 7th as well. Schools have been reaching out to all remote learners regarding assignments, so if you have not heard, please reach out to your school's principal. Phase 5 is scheduled for Monday, December 14th, with students in grades 2, 3, 5, 6, and 12 returning for in-person instruction 4 days per week. In addition, the Board of Education recently included all grades 7 through 12 504 students in Phase 5. Calls have been made to these families to see if they were interested in returning during Phase 5 or waiting for their grade level phase. Ever present in the news today are reports of New York's microcluster strategy to limit the spread of COVID-19. The state's strategy contains processes to identify geographic boundaries into microcluster zones where COVID-19 spread has reached a level that requires action. There are 3 potential microcluster zone designations: a red zone, an orange zone, and a yellow zone. Not too long ago, I notified our community that it appears we are trending toward being designated a yellow zone. Very briefly, if we were designated a yellow zone, we would need to conduct mandatory testing of 20% of our students and staff for our schools to remain open for in-person learning. This testing requirement is for staff and in-person students only on a bi-weekly basis until such time we can demonstrate that the school's infection rate is below the yellow zone 7-day rolling average. Once this is accomplished, no further testing would be required unless the zone designation becomes more restrictive. What is the process for a cluster zone designation? There are many factors considered when the state makes zone designations. These factors include community infection rate, explainable and/or controllable factors contributing to the high positivity rates, and hospital capacity. Because there are many contributing factors, there is simply no way to determine if and when any of our schools may enter a zone. To complicate this further, designations are made by zip code, not necessarily school district, meaning It is possible that some of our school district schools could receive a designation while others do not. For example, when you look at our schools by zip code, you will see zip code 11719 is shared by the high school, Brookhaven Elementary School, and South Haven Early Childhood Center. Zip code 11713 shared by the middle school, Frank P. Long, and Kramer Street. And all alone in zip code 11772 is Vern W. Kritz. With this uncertainty and numbers on the rise, we are taking the necessary steps in preparation of such a designation. This began with a visit to a school district currently doing the testing to see the operation firsthand. We then assembled a COVID test team, trained our nurses and responders who have medical credentials on test administration, and arranged for our nurses to visit a testing site in another district to also see the operation firsthand. Right now, in terms of preparation, I believe we are in a good place in the event any of our schools receive a zone designation. Last week, the district sent out a willingness to test survey. This survey was simply to give the district an idea on our ability to meet the 20% testing mandate. We had 1,223 respondents to the survey, with 56% of our parents indicating no to testing and 44% of our parents indicating yes to testing. Understandably, there are many questions and some concerns in the school community regarding testing at school. I would like to answer some of the questions that have been submitted to us. First, what test is used and who supplies the test? The test is called the BinaxNOW COVID-19 Rapid Test. The test will be supplied by the State Department of Health through the Suffolk County Department of Health. How does the BinaxNOW COVID-19 test work? To perform the test, the nasal swab specimen is collected, then drops of an extraction reagent are added to the swab from a dropper bottle. Test results are interpreted visually at 15 minutes based on the presence or absence of a visually detectable color. How long does testing have to be done for once a yellow zone is declared? Testing will be bi-weekly until such time we can demonstrate that the school infection rate is below the yellow zone 7-day rolling average. Once this is accomplished, no further testing would be required unless the zone designation becomes more restrictive. How often will my child be tested? I expect one time, unless the zone designation does become more restrictive. How much class time will be missed for a test? We estimate the entire test process would take about 30 minutes in length. Who will do the test? Individuals either from the Department of Health or the district who have been trained to take samples, and test results will be read by a registered nurse. How accurate is the test? Reports suggest accuracy in the high 90 percentile, 97.1% and 98.5%. Will my child be told the results? No. Negative results will be communicated with the parent or guardian at a later date, and positive cases would be quarantined and families would be contacted following district protocol. Can parents be present during the test? We plan to conduct the testing during the school day and after the school day. Parents who wish to be present would need to bring their child back during a scheduled time to be tested. Can parents opt to allow testing only if present? Yes. Is the test painful or dangerous? No. The test is a non-invasive swirl of the nostril. In addition, we have prepared a document titled COVID-19 Rapid Test Talking Points for Parents that is currently available on our website. The document offers suggestions in speaking to students about taking the COVID test at school. And finally, it has been reported that the CDC is making changes to the length necessary for quarantines. Please keep in mind that before any changes go into practice, they must first be adopted as guidance from the New York State Department of Health, then the Suffolk County Department of Health, and then our Board of Education. Therefore, despite what you may have heard, the existing 14-day quarantine rules still apply to our schools. I hope you have found this broadcast helpful. Please don't forget to wear a mask, wash your hands, and watch your distance. And please also stay informed, stay safe, and stay positive. Thank you all.